What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Buzz in the Box. I'm Mauro Bazzario. It's great to be with you here on this beautiful, didn't start out great, but ended up to be a beautiful Monday afternoon. We had a pretty solid weekend of some baseball, and we got our segments to get into and a couple other guys we have our eye on. And stay tuned, coming up soon this week, we got a lot of shorts coming out on YouTube here with our shorts and on TikTok. So stay tuned for that. A lot of names, a lot of prospects that we really like for your Dynasty League. So anything with fantasy, you're going to want to check that out. Trust me. Leading off in our leadoff spot here, the Nationals actually, we're not going to believe this, the Nationals handed the Braves just last night their first home series loss of the season. That's absolutely crazy. A lot of people are pretty shocked by that. We're already towards the end of May here, and their first series loss of the season. They just might, not a lot of people's liking, the Braves might just end up running away with that National League East. I don't want to say I hope not, because I try to be impartial, but let's see what happens down with the NL East and all the other divisions. We're looking forward to our first All-Star game and our Home Run Derby and everything that comes with this season, with our first season here with you, and especially our off-season, because we're going to be doing a lot of prospect rankings and a lot of guys that you're going to want in a redraft or your non-keeper draft, and a lot of guys down in the minors that you're going to want to snag in your rookie and first-year player drafts as well. There's going to be a lot of names and some international guys too. That's going to be a good one. Trust me, there's going to be a lot. Going to love that one. Angels beat the Rangers on a walk-off ever at second base. It was actually that talk about the Braves not losing a series at home up until last night. This, for the Angels, was their first series sweep of the season period. So they really needed that. They earned that against the Texas Rangers off the error at second base. Real quick, also another milestone here. We try to follow those. Corbin Carroll, who was featured in our last video. We're going caroling. That's our last video. Check that out if you have a chance. A lot of good info in there. Corbin Carroll, second fastest player ever to 50 triples and 80 home runs. Talk about slugging percentage and speed. This guy was pretty much the whole package, and he's going to be. And he is, and he's going to stay as advertised. Corbin Carroll, an absolute monster. So we talked about how the Angels won that game last night, their first sweep of the season against the Rangers. Real story there was Reid Detmers. We're going to read between the lines right now. He pitched nothing short of a gem last night. Get this, he almost went the distance, which is a lost art these days. The lost art of pitching, one pitcher pitching 9 innings in the major leagues. Man, long far cry from Nolan Ryan and Bob Feller and guys like that just kept on going. Shout out to them, because man, we'd love to see us a few complete games pile up this year. And still waiting on our first no-hitter. We know we've already came close a couple times recently. Reid Dermers went the distance, 8 innings. Only blemish was a solo shot given up by the powerful Jake Berger. So, a lot of people give up home runs against him. He's been Berger Deluxe this year, has Jake Berger for the Texas Rangers. That was his only blemish for the evening, and he collected, get this, 14 strikeouts. This is Reid Detmers on the Angels we're talking about. So shout out to him, 14 strikeouts. I think that is a record for strikeouts in a game so far this season. I think Jose Soriano and Chris Sale got at least a dozen a couple times, so I might be hitting a foul ball on that. Let me know in the comments if we got that wrong. We'd love to hear about it and correct it, obviously. Reid Detmers, 14 strikeouts. You heard that right. And what might also be the best start by any starting pitcher we've seen all year. We mentioned his teammate Jose Soriano out there in Anaheim. Nobody had a better first month and a half than him. Let's see if he can stay evened out after starting that hot and not fall into a valley. We've seen that happen over there with people and any team in general. So unfortunately, Reid Detmers did not get the win on the ledger. So that's pretty frustrating. 14 Ks, 8 innings, not getting the win. Tough day of hitting for the Angels. Sounds like it's going around. Reid Detmers, he was going to remain 1-5 on the year with a now 4.57 ERA. So he's adjusting that in a step in the right direction a little bit. He got hit really hard his last time out, and it was he's kind of been pretty pedestrian as a whole so far, so I'm not exactly ready to trust him completely in all types of fantasy leagues just yet. But another couple quality starts, maybe even 2 of the next 4 games, will keep me intrigued, and even something even more extensive and consistent than that. And we might have to really read between the lines and take some more quality starts, and then we can really start to think. We can start to think about trusting and taking a closer look at Reid Detmers in fantasy right now. His Sierra, speaking of that, is at 320. That's above average. He's been a bit unlucky. So is somebody else we're going to talk about quickly in a little bit. We'll keep a close eye on him the next few times out. Reid Detmers, slight chance he could be turning into a not saying exactly a league winner, but he could be a useful fantasy asset turning into one. Reid Detmers before our very eyes. Injury news real quick. Rocky starting pitcher, still a big fan of him. Jose Quintana left his start in the second inning with elbow discomfort in his left throwing shoulder for the southpaw. So we're going to see what the MRI has to say about that soon. Probably, and pretty much news about that should be coming out any second at this point. Dylan Dingler hit a home run along with a 2-run single by Kevin McGonigal, the great wonder kid Kevin McGonigal, to end an 8-game losing streak for the Tigers. We've been talking about on Buzz in the Box here a little bit, seeing if the Tigers come out of that struggle. That is a good start. Dylan Dingler continues to mash, and he also continues to lead the Tigers in home runs. Let's see what happens if they can get Kerry Carpenter back. I think he's coming back before the All-Star break. They're going to need some power from him, that's for sure. He's another guy that came through as a fantasy sleeper the start of last year. So looking for him to get healthy with that young team over there with guys like Gage Workman and Max Clark and Colt Keith. Failed to mention Gage Workman last time we talked about the young up-and-coming guys for the Tigers. So wanted to do that. Shout out to him. They still have a nice young core, but they got to get healthy and get a little better right now due to the Detroit Tigers, the Motor City Kitties. So, they actually needed that. They ended an 8-game losing streak, did the Tigers. So, man, that was pretty big for them. Kevin McGonigal with the big 2-run single, Dylan Dingler with the home run to end that streak. They beat the Orioles 4-1. To say they needed that is an understatement. The Mets really need something right now. They are currently, as I last checked, down 7-0 against the Reds, and just into the 6th inning here. So they're kind of teeing off on Nolan McLean right now. He's got to get a little bit better hand on his mechanics. We'll probably talk about Nolan McLean and some of the other struggling aces so far this year, and see if they can pick things up with those cannons that they got. Moving on here, the Nationals gave the Braves their first home series loss of the year. They squeezed by to a 2-1 victory last night. Speaking of starting pitching, Foster Griffin was very impressive on the mound for DC. 6 shutout innings with 6 Ks. He got roughed up a little bit the last couple of times out. So Foster Griffin's actually another pretty intriguing guy. I definitely have him ranked a pretty not by I don't want to say a long shot, but more. I have Foster Griffin fantasy wise definitely ranked more than a few spots above Reid Detmers since obviously before the beginning of this year. But that he's widened the gap with how many surprising quality starts Foster Griffin has had for DC, and the fact that they're scoring a lot of runs, they still kind of are a little bit. That's kind of just helping his case a little bit. So let's see if he can piece together some more quality starts for Foster Griffin coming up for the Nationals. The White Sox, they're designating veteran Jared Kelenic for assignment. He actually had a pretty decent BABIP at 344. So he's the other guy who's been kind of unlucky with the 344 BABIP. But man, I think main reason for the he's being DFA'd is striking out at an over 30% clip right now. White Sox already have enough of that going on in their team a little bit, kind of like the Angels. So that's never a 30% strikeout clip is never going to hurt your chances. So we'll see if Jared Kelenic can get back to the show with somebody sometime soon. Speaking of White Sox, a little bit earlier, Munetaka Murakami just hit his 18th home run of the season in an early game against the Twins. Brooks Lee also went yard in that game. We're going to hit you with the score update before we get out of here soon. Twins coming off a nice weekend, sweeping the Boston Red Sox. Get this, sweeping the Red Sox in Boston, the Twins, for the first time since 1994. Oh man, I was a wee lad last time that happened. That was something else that team needed. Giants beat the White Sox last night thanks to a Rafael Devers grand slam. I think it was his third in 7 days. Man, how many times does that happen? I have a future certified dog coming up. If not today, then probably soon. Looks like he has officially come alive in San Francisco finally. The Astros completed a 3-game sweep of the reeling Chicago Cubs. Christian Walker hit a 3-run home run in the 5th to solidify that. Jake Myers and Nick Allen also went yard in that game as Houston cruised to an 8-5 victory. Michael Busch did go yard for the Cubs, but they are currently on their worst losing streak since 2020. So that is a little bit rough. Opposite side of that, another great start by Yoshinobu Yamamoto last night helped the Dodgers take 2 out of 3 from the Brewers. It was an absolutely huge day for Andy Pajes and Kyle Tucker. They got LA ahead in the 5th, and they didn't really look back from there. 1 run in 7 excellent innings for Yamamoto. Man, when he's on, he is on. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, man, he's continuing to have a pretty good year, and that's an understatement. We're going to get to our buzzkill now. Unfortunately, we have to do it. This one's going to hurt me a little bit, but unfortunately, we all know one. Buzzkill time. It is a grizzled veteran, former World Series champion, multi-time Gold Glove winner, and excellent career, but it just hasn't quite worked out just yet so far this year for the 35-year-old second baseman, hitting just .214 on the year. Slugging percentage is under 300, which is not what you want to see from somebody who's always hitting between at least 5th and 7th in the lineup, so definitely expecting production there. It's Marcus Semien for the New York Mets. My Mets, unfortunately, can't be biased. I have to do it, keep things fair. That's how we like it around here. Keep it positive, keep it professional. Marcus Semien was showing some signs of life early last week, where he had gone 8 of 10 games where he had at least 1 hit, but that kind of already seems like a distant memory. So we need to get him right quickly. Do the Mets just 1 hit in the last 18 at bats for Semien. It's been over a week since his last extra base hit. He does have a single in the game against the Reds, in which the Mets trail 7-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning right now. So Marcus Semien has added has not knocked a base hit today, but it has been still over a week since his last extra base hit. That's a tough one right there. We just mentioned that. So 1 hit, no walks, and no RBIs the last 5 games. Part of the reason why the Mets are struggling to get a lot of consistency going on offense this year. His strikeout rate has the last 2 weeks, his strikeout rate has been better for this year, but as a whole, I think his chase rate is like the worst that he's had in his career for Marcus Semien. So he is chasing the ball a lot. That's got to get a little bit better. Maybe he's probably jumping out in front a little too early. It sounds like for him. So let's see if he can keep continuing to lay off some pitches for Marcus Semien, because that's not going to help himself or the Mets. Or, he's still a guy that, I would not day in, day out, but, is still worthy in fantasy when he's on and he can collect those base hits and, should be collecting more RBIs, but just on a team that's as a whole underperforming right now. So that kind of drags down multiple players right there. His exit velo not great, and the xwOBA is at 299. They're all well below. They're both well below league average right now. That paints an ugly picture for Marcus Semien. His bat speed is at for what he can do and has done, or the average right now. His snail's pace right now, his bat speed at 68 miles an hour. Yikes, that's tough. So that with the below average xwOBA and exit velo, you just want to see him get the barrel on there a little better and lay off the junk, especially. But, keep it positive, keep it professional. Human beings at the end of the day, and they are trying to do the hardest thing in sports, and which is nearly impossible, but they get it done. It's something we need to talk about and keep a close eye on. But sorry, Marcus Semien, you are today's buzzkill. Sorry, brother. Big fan of him too, since he's been on the he was on the Oakland A's. I was a fan of that young team with Matt Olson and Matt Chapman. They mashed over there for a while, actually. Not sure if there might have been a season where all three of them hit 30 home runs, but that'd be something worth checking out. Let me know in the comments if I hit a foul ball on that. I think Semien has definitely got close with the three of them doing that. That was a nice nucleus they had out there in Oakland. All right, moving on. Flip side now. It is now time for today's Certified Dawg. Let's go. Roo. Here we go. Finding out who's been on an absolute tear right now. They've been a terror for the opposing team. This guy's hitting against the bad teams, and he's hitting against the good teams. That's when you know he is on fire. Is the 28-year-old catcher from Venezuela. He is doing it all. He's got the batting average over 300 right now, an excellent walk rate, excellent walk and strikeout rate, matter of fact, while slugging over 400. So, man, Marcus Semien could use a little bit of that. I expect his slugging to get even higher, actually, as the season continues. It's Willson Contreras for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's our certified dog. He has just the 4 home runs on the year, but he did hit one just last night. So I think a lot more of those coming soon, sooner than later, as a matter of fact. I expect his slugging and his home runs to both take a quick upturn, and with how much contact he's making already, I think that's going to be something that stays for most of the season here for Willson. For William Contreras, the 4 home runs on the year, just one last night. I think by the All-Star break, he has at least 8. So calling that right now, I think he's going to go on a little bit of a home run tear, Mr. Contreras. 2 hits or more in 4 of the last 6 games, and he has 6 hits in the last 2. What else do you want? That on-base percentage is also steadily going. Only 2 strikeouts the last 6 games for him. That's a good sign. He also has a stolen base in that span. He's contributing in all different areas right now. He is locked in contact-wise, and he's only striking out 11% of the time. Contreras is absolutely destroying it. We mentioned 2 hits or more in 4 of the last 6 games. He is knocking it out of there while only striking out 11% of the time. I don't think I need to see any more. His launch angle, I think this matters. His launch angle is also up quite a bit. That's going to lead to more home runs. And another reason why William Contreras is today's certified dog. Let's go. All right, moving on now. Got through that. We're going to get to our last licks here today, as we're going to hit you with our live score update. man, it's been a really good time for those Brewers out in the NL Central. I talk about a team that might run away with the division. Everything's kind of coming up roses for the Milwaukee Brewers right now, and not to mention definitely, if not the top three, if not the best farm system and player development and recent track history the Milwaukee Brewers have right now. I'm a big fan of what, and a lot of people are, of what they're doing. It's 3-2 Royals over the Yankees in KC, about to start the ninth. In the sixth, it's the Reds over the Mets, 7-0 in Queens. The Arizona Diamondbacks are up 1-0 on the Giants. And that's about it right now. That game is in the fourth inning. We have the bulk of our late games. Our main slated games coming up on the docket for tonight still to come. So we're going to probably cover just about almost everything that goes down in tonight's games in our next video coming up here. Try to cover just about everything as possible, and stay tuned throughout the week for our YouTube shorts and on our TikTok, talking about some hot prospects down in the minor leagues that you really need to keep an eye on for our dynasty leagues. That is going to be huge. And also want to mention, as we finish up our last licks, and we'll get out of here, not exactly a bunch of great pitching matchups going on in these games here on this Monday night. So do with this what you will. I'm kind of a big fan of the over on most of these games. So over on these games tonight is looking pretty good, if I may say so. So please, if you haven't yet, on your way back to the clubhouse, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share this channel with anybody who you think is going to be interested in MLB baseball updates or in fantasy baseball. We do both here. We try to cover all teams. I'm a Mets fan, but try not to be biased. Had to put Marcus Semien as the buzzkill, as one of our struggling players. So we try to be fair, keep it impartial, keep it positive, keep it professional. Link to our TikTok is on our page. Follow that if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. Like this video on your way back to the clubhouse. Thank you so much. Any and all the support is very much appreciated. It means more than you know. We have nothing to hide and everything to gain with you on our side. Thank you so much for being with us here. We also have videos coming up on our TikTok and our YouTube shorts on here about some can't miss prospects that you're definitely going to want to get a hold of or keep an eye on. If somebody offers you them in a trade, maybe that's the guy you pass up, or maybe it just might be somebody that can help you in the coming years, because we're always playing the long game to help ourselves win our fantasy matchups by over 100, because nothing is worse than a heartbreaking loss. We just want to keep stacking points, because sometimes that can be the tiebreaker. So I'm Aldo Bizzario signing off here for Buzz in the Box. Thank you so much for being here. Goodbye for now, and catch you next time.